balance of power shifting in European football. This year's UEFA Champions League knockout stages have gone on to prove just that. Spanish and English teams had monopolized the later stages over the past decade, supplying 29 of the 40 teams that reached the semi-finals. But the rise of Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund has forced even Jose Mourinho to declare, "For me, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern and Juventus are favourites to lift the cup this year." There are 8 teams left standing in Europe's elite competition. 3 of them hail from Spain, 2 from Germany and 1 each from France, Italy and Turkey. 0 are from England. At the start of the season, Bayern Munich's honorary president, Franz Beckenbauer, had expressed confidence that a German team can win this season's Champions League. No German side has won anything outside the domestic competitions for the past 11 years. It could well change this season. Bayern were the last team from Germany to lift the cup way back in 2001. The Bavarian Giants have reached the final twice in the last 3 years. But the trophy has always eluded them. Last year's heartbreaking loss in the final against Chelsea in front of the home fans still hurts. And opponents have borne the brunt. That minor blip against Bate Borisov in the group stages and an embarrassing loss against Arsenal aside, the record Bundesliga champions have been clinical. After watching Bayern in action, Sir Bobby Charlton has tipped them to lift the cup this season. Only time will tell, but first the men from Munich must face a resurgent Juventus team in the quarterfinals. Judging by how Borussia Dortmund's season went so far, it is fair to say that their best chance and perhaps all their focus has been on this year's Champions League. After winning the previous 2 Bundesliga titles, they find themselves well off the pace this year. However, in the Champions League, it is a different story. Jurgen Klopp's men progressed to the round of 16 as group winners. Make no mistake, the group had the likes of Real Madrid, Manchester City and Ajax Amsterdam. In the round of 16, the Bundesliga champions completely outclassed Shakhtar Donetsk. Dortmund will now take on dark horses Malaga in the quarterfinals. You would normally expect Barcelona to coast to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But after losing 2-0 to AC Milan in the first leg at the San Siro in a round of 16 tie, Barca entered the second leg, knowing survival would require a historic performance. And the Catalan Giants created history by becoming the first team ever to overcome a 2-0 first leg deficit to win a Champions League tie without an away goal. Messi and company confirmed that they still run the greatest show in club football. The Blaugrana were not at the peak of their powers in the group stages, but after the season-defining match against AC Milan, their confidence is sky high once again. Paris Saint-Germain lie in wait for mighty Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Just like Barca, Real Madrid too were staring at the exit door after the first leg of the round of 16 tie against Manchester United. But Jose Mourinho's men spectacularly turned it around at Old Trafford, albeit in controversial circumstances where the referee stole the limelight. Cristiano Ronaldo has once again proved to be the decisive factor with his chart-topping 8 goals. The race for La Liga silverware is as good as over, but Madrid are alive and kicking in the Champions League in quest for their record 10th crown. Galatasaray could prove to be tricky opponents for Madrid in the last 8. Malaga have been the standout surprise package in the Champions League this season. In the summer, the club was under dark clouds. They were experiencing financial difficulties and was not even able to pay wages to the players. But Malaga turned it around in style. A string of classy performances saw them qualify for the last 16 unbeaten. From a group consisting of AC Milan, Zenit St. Petersburg and Anderlecht, Malaga also dumped Porto out of the competition. Certainly a massive challenge for Manuel Pellegrini's men to beat Borussia Dortmund in the quarterfinals. But nothing is ever simple at this level of football. For the first time in 17 years, there are no English clubs in the quarterfinals of Europe's biggest competition. Spain are able to boast 3 representatives in the quarterfinal stages for the first time since 2003. But it's the Bundesliga clubs that will be the teams to watch out for. Bayern and Dortmund are perhaps the most entertaining, attacking and efficient sides in this year's competition. So get set for some thrilling contests, cracking goals and some outstanding individual performances in the last 8 of the Champions League.